Hello, John Wilson here, and I'm doing the self-reflection video, basically talking about my past, my present, and my future self, and some questions I'd like to ask and answer to all three of those. And one of the biggest ones I want to ask my past self, or tell my past self, or three things that I wish I could have told my past self. Basically, that you can succeed at whatever you want, that the only person that's stopping you from your goals is yourself, and finally, that, just because you didn't have a dad doesn't mean you are a failure. Just because he didn't want you, that you're not wanted. Because that was the biggest thing growing up, is because I didn't have a dad, that I didn't think that just because he didn't want me, that other people wouldn't want me, and that's not true. I've learned that now, and it's one of my biggest things I've had to cope with. So it was hard, but I realize now that just because he didn't want me doesn't mean that other people don't want me. So that would lead me into my next question. What am I holding on to that I need to let go of? And the biggest thing is the issues with my dad and with past relationships. I hold on to those hurts, and it makes me think that other people are going to hurt me that way, and I have to remember that I have to let that go, because not everyone's the same. Just because, I had a bad relationship, or, my dad didn't want me, that other people aren't going to want me. And that's one of the biggest things that I've had to deal with, and it's something that I always have to look at and look forward, moving forward. Looking back at the old me, am I proud of that person? Honestly, no. I'm not proud of the person that I used to be. I was very lazy, unmotivated. All I wanted to do was play video games and eat food. I had no drive, I had no passion, and the only thing that was going for me was I was really selfless and sweet, and I'd always try to help people out, but I never really helped myself. It was always self-sacrifice for me, because I just wanted to get through the day. So I hope in the future that I can be proud of the person I am tomorrow rather than the person that I was yesterday. The present self, what am I letting distract me from my goals? And what am I standing in the way of my success? Well, that would be myself. Lately, I've been catching the senioritis, where, I'm kind of slacking, and I'm starting to get unmotivated, and I'm having a lot of self-doubts if I can actually succeed in the track that I'm in, or rather the career field, because it takes a lot of effort, and I don't feel like I'm up to the task. And sometimes I have to snap myself out of it, because, my teachers know that I can do it. It's just I don't know if I can do it. And it's one of the biggest things that I'm worrying about now, going on the internship, thinking, can I do this? Will I be able to do it? And it's easier to have someone else tell me that I can do it versus, me telling myself that I can do it. So that's really distracting, and it's really, putting a dent in my motivation. What makes you feel great about myself? What makes me feel great about myself is my connection with people and how I make people feel. A lot of people come to me for advice, or they want, if they need to learn something or know something, from an assignment, they come to me. And it makes me feel good that I'm a leader and people look up to me, because I'm a kind of person that needs a lot of assurance from other people to feel better about myself, because I have an issue with having the ability of making myself feel better. So having a lot of people around me that, feel strongly about me and, want to support and be friends with me feels really good. And that I can form those connections and those social interactions and network and feel like a better person than I actually am some of the time. So in my future self, what are the three things you hope for your future? Well, I want to have a solid career where I'm making a lot of money, so I can support not just myself, but my mother and my sister. I want to have more constructive hobbies, more things I can spend time with that are more constructive and actually useful, instead of just playing video games all the time. And the last thing, I really hope to, form an intimate relationship with someone and get married and, have a family. What advice would you give to the next generations of leaders? For me, it would, stay off social media all the time. Social media can destroy your life. So stay away from that. I would know from experience. And what is my ideal self? My ideal self would be the professional that Europe has created me to be, and I hope to instill that from now on and just continue to be the person that I've been at Europe consistently, instead of, you know, code switching every time I come home. I want to be that professional all the time, and I want to have that work ethic all the time. So that's how I feel about, you know, my self-reflection. Thank you.